Who is watching us? Who wants us? Who wants to own us? Who are our possible audiences? Well, folks, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Welcome to the newcomers. Welcome back to my channel. I have an important article or letter to read to you. It's written by Max Williams, PhD, Foreign Service Officer, retired. It's dated February 20th, 2023, and I do have permission to read it and post it online. He entitled it, Our Possible Audiences, and I added at the beginning, who are our possible audiences? So here we go, friends. As a result of my experiences with targeting over many years, I now believe that we are used for multi-purposes. Think about all the areas of our bodies and our minds that our attackers tamper with and probe. The brain itself, our internal organs, our limbs and hands and feet, the orchestrated scenarios or, quote, dreams, unquote, emphasis in many cases on sex, the programming to attempt to turn our thoughts to deviant sex, to change our sexual orientation, to think of everything in a sexual context, etc., our balance and hand-to-eye coordination. The interrogations for the V2K victims, our sciatic nerve and spinal column, even our daily habits, our method of entertainment, and many other areas. If I'm accurate in believing that we are multi-purposed, that belief opens doors to who might be behind our targeting. Who would be interested in and benefits from studying those areas listed above? 1. Medical research institutes, including psychiatric clinics, would love to have real test subjects for studying and perhaps experimenting on various parts of the brain and their functions, our body nerves and circulation systems, our senses. 2. Human studies institutes would be interested in our thoughts about and interactions with others. 3. Government agencies such as the CIA, my favorite Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Homeland Security, and the NSA would love to know how we think, and what we do as a result of how and what we think. They would also want to enhance their interrogation techniques. And they most certainly would want to know how they can manipulate human behavior by remote. 4. Law enforcement would want to know how they can use targeting for control purposes to predict crime and to interrogate suspects. 5. Our personal adversaries, for whatever reason, would like to punish us for doing, saying, or writing something that they do not like. What better way to accomplish that than by using remote physical and neurological attacks upon their perceived enemies? Number 6, entertainment is a $1 trillion industry. Some of that entertainment is perverse. It's entirely possible to consider that we might have a paying, invisible audience watching us as their own reality show. And we are the actors. Once we are targeted, our body-mind invaders possess incredible power. They can decide who actually gets to operate the remote means to read our thoughts, hear our voices, in a two-way communication system, play with our emotions, torture our bodies and minds, see what we do, where we go, watch who we interact with, etc. Money and greed can kick in at this point. It would be very tempting for the attackers who have targeted us to rent us out for the purposes already stated. The, quote, owners, unquote, of the targets would have to determine which of the, quote, unquote, renters deal with which area. Although all groups would be able to see and hear us, all the groups would not, for example, be able to use V2K on us or read our minds. Each group would have to be assigned a particular area of usage that meets its purposes. If we are indeed leased out to various individuals, groups, or organizations, those entities would not necessarily know about the other watchers or users. Actually, it probably would not matter if they did. Each group would watch and sometimes interact with us for its own reasons. If I'm right about our being multi-purposed, we have only one quote-unquote owner, but several or more viewers. Just a few thoughts based on 50 years of targeting experience, studying observations, and communications with other targets. Once again, this is written by Max Williams, PhD. He's a retired Foreign Service officer. This is dated February 20th, 2023. And I'm reminded of a song way back in the day. It's called You Don't Own Me. You don't own me. Excuse my singing, folks. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. I'll have to look it up, and perhaps we'll add it onto a future short. But I look forward to your questions and comments, and I thank Max so much for permitting me to read this online. And I will cut and paste as much of this that I can in the description center for you to read. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, signing off for now.